it into somebody else's face either.
Right.
You just put it in a ponytail, put it in a braid, keep it to the side of your face. I don't know. Can't do that. You just can't do that. No way. This is for you, John, because you can fill me in a little bit more, because this is something I am totally not into and also don't know much about. So a record number of elk hunting applications were applied for in Michigan this year. So more than 49,000 hunters applied this year, which is up by at least 5,000 from the previous year. So let's see if I get this right. So these hunters, they pay $5, and then they're basically put into like a lottery pool, I think, where they get a chance to get one of about 300 available tags to hunt the elk. Is that correct? Okay, so
one of 300?
Yep.
Yeah. So there's 49,000 people who applied, and only 300 will get chosen to hunt for elk. And they do this so that we're not killing off all of Michigan's elk, right? Like, we don't want them to go extinct, where we have almost 50,000 people out there hunting them. We need to make sure that we're not killing them off.
They found out the number to harvest to keep the herd healthy. And right now they're saying it's 300. And that's if everybody goes out and is successful. Now, not everybody ends up bagging an elk.
Right.
But it's a hard one to pull. And when you do, you call the boss and you say, I'm going to be gone for a while, because it's hard to do, it's hard to get, and when you get it, you got to make sure that you've got the time to go, and utilize it as it should be utilized.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have not. No, I've put in. I've just never gotten it.
You have pull.
What's that?
You have pull.
Oh no. I'm in there with everybody, and one of these days, my lucky numbers will come up.
When do they choose the lucky winners?
I don't remember that.
It was probably in this article, and I haven't seen it yet, but
I don't remember.
So when you usually tell your bosses you'll be out for a while, why is that for a while, not just a 2-day or whatever?
Oh no, I don't remember how long this season is.
Okay.
But it's however long it is, you want to make sure you take enough time to get up there, scout, hunt, and generally a lot of people will. You're the one that has to pull the trigger if you have the tag, but you're going to take a group of individuals with you if you've got some good friends, and they're going to help scout, stalk, maybe push some of the deer or so the elk your way, so that they get maybe a little slice of that tenderloin.
I would imagine they would get. I mean, they're big animals. I would imagine they'd get a little slice of that for sure, without a doubt.
And they got to help you carry it out too.
Yeah, for sure. So as of Sunday, Michigan residents who live in the area code 616-810-906 and 989 will no longer be able to make local calls simply by entering 7-digit numbers. So basically what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to use 10 digits, which means they're going to have to type in the area code before they call anybody. So, I mean, not a huge problem, right? But people might have to go through their contact lists and make some updates, because if you saved anyone without the area code, those numbers will no longer go through. And if you're going to dial someone's number, they just got to make sure they have the area code there. And the change is affecting people not just here in Michigan in those 4 area codes I said, but across the country as well. And it's all part of the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline rollout. So starting next summer, anyone in the country can dial 988 to reach a lifeline. And area codes that have those digits as the middle 3 numbers will have to change. So a simple change, but just something good to be aware of, so you don't call someone and don't realize why you can't get through. Just to be aware of. Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. 97.1.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center. Look at the drive this morning. The roads are still a little bit wet, but accident-free. There is a new construction project east and westbound Davis and Ramps to southbound 75, closing through November. Also nearby 75 entrance ramp from Oakland Avenue is still closed, and southbound 75 ramps to east and westbound 696 also closed until the mid part of next month. You can use Woodward or DeQuinder over to 696 instead. I'm Michelle Heine with traffic.
Major League Baseball. Corey Shippey, the longtime manager, has another shot to win a coveted World tonight and get back at it tomorrow. NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms. NyQuil Severe temporarily relieves common cold and flu symptoms, including cough, sore throat, headache, minor aches and pains, fever, runny nose, and sneezing. NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
According to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. So, 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey pros, take your home improvement business to the next level with Menard's free design and buy software. Design your client's next post frame building, kitchen, deck, fence, door, window, the list goes on. Show them what their finished project will look like and get your material costs at the same time. Save your work to your Menards.com account for easy reference. We even deliver materials right to your job site. Let Menards supply all of your building needs.
Speed. We're all obsessed with it, especially when it comes to our internet. Luckily, Xfinity delivers gig speed to more homes than anyone. And not only that, our gig is faster than AT&T's. And with gig speed over Wi-Fi, that means faster speeds all over the house for streaming,
Oh my God.
for gaming, whatever you need speed for, you'll get more. Plus, Xfinity now has speed options up to 3 gigs. That's 3 times faster than AT&T.
Now that is fast.
You're obsessed with speed. Good thing Xfinity is too. Can your internet do that? Learn about gig Wi-Fi or get started with Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, ask about speed 3 times faster than AT&T. Go online or call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/15/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter 50 megabits per second internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, fees extra, and subject to change. After dark, regular rates apply. Gig speed Wi-Fi requires gigabit internet and compatible X-Fi gateway. Actual speeds vary and not guaranteed. 3-gig service requires customized installation.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Okay, some good news during a challenging time for everybody, and this could really help. You may know hundreds of thousands of people have already made the switch to Medi-Share, which is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And with so many people looking at how they pay for healthcare right now, seeing premiums going up or the cost of COBRA plans, Medi-Share has a special offer and a lot of people are taking advantage of it. Simply apply by October 30th and they will waive your new member fee. That's $170 savings. And of course, that's just the start. The typical family saves $500 a month after making the switch. Medi-Share is a Christian community that has shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it's worked beautifully for decades. I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Just tell them the promo code SHARE to get your additional savings. Here it is. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
So, as you guys know, Mark's gone. The float artist at Fred's Floral just took off days before the parade. They need a replacement before business passes them by.
Who am I going to get to finish the float?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV.
And our Netflix for movies you watch on demand. DirecTV Stream brought us together to save the world.
Maybe not save the world, but DirecTV Stream does bring your live and on-demand favorites together.
Your favorites together.
I just said that.
She just said that.
Introducing DirecTV Stream, the best of live TV and on-demand with no annual contract. Get your TV together at DirecTV.com.
Requires high-speed internet and compatible device. Content varies by package and location. Restrictions apply. What do you call a group of friends who wear the same jersey for good luck, no matter how old it is, and who support their team through thick and thin, week after week, as if the very season depended on it, all while tossing the pigskin and drinking Miller Lite? You call it Miller time in Detroit. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2021 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee.
is a 501c3 nonprofit focused on shattering the stigma that surrounds mental health, and they want to give you a platform to share your mental health journey. Visit rickyscompass.org today and shatter the stigma that surrounds mental illness.
Get the latest sports news and inside information about Michigan and Michigan State on the 5-Star Zone with Rico Beard. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
We're listening to the best of Stoney and Jansen with Heather on 97.1 The Ticket. The Lions are on a path to 0-17. I don't think they'll get there. They'll win at least a game or two, to put it mildly. But in an exclusive, for now, interview with the Detroit Free Press's Dave Burkett, Sheila Fordham spoke, and it was an interesting interview, talking about things like Chris Spielman, what exactly is his involvement, Don Muehlbach being part of the organization, how they're planning on, building the organization. She also spoke about the fact that she got booed, vociferously on the field at the Ravens game when they're in the Calvin Johnson thing. She completely was okay with it. She understood it. It's frustrating. She feels their frustration.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of, when she was promoted, I said, you know what, maybe because she's a little younger than some of the other owners around, that she went through it as a kid. She hasn't seen any success in her lifetime. Maybe she'll understand and do the right thing. Jury is way, way too early to say yes or no on anything. Look, you can, I don't know what the timeline is exactly, or was exactly, criticize her for bringing back Patricia and Quinn, Patricia's second year. That said, one of the things that I found somewhat refreshing was her use of a word that management hates to use because they think it dissuades fans from showing up, but she used it. And the question from Dave Burkett was, not to put a timetable on this, but record-wise, 0-6 before the game seems far away. How close do you feel to being on the right track? And this is her answer, quoting Sheila. I think, as I say, everyone knew this was going to be a hard year, a rebuild. No one wanted to say that exactly. We all kind of knew it was going to be. And I think, as I say, the good news is that our young guys are getting a lot of experience, probably a lot more than they would have normally. So I think at the end of the year, we'll really know what we have. I think we're building our foundation. As you know, we have a slew of draft picks coming up in the next 5 years. So I see nothing but positivity going forward. I think we'll have a chance to really, really improve ourselves. And I feel like we've got the right leaders to get us there. Mm-hmm. Look, jury's still out on Brad Holmes. Jury's still out on Dan Campbell and the whole management team. Jury's still out on her. But I'm going to give her credit for using the word. Because we all I believe it's an organizational tank that some of the roster moves that they've done. Now, I don't expect her to admit that. But I think you might say, big deal, she's just saying what everybody knows. No, you very rarely.
When was the last time you heard an owner or a GM say rebuild?
Right. Even Troy Weaver said, no, we don't rebuild, we restore. Right. For some reason, rebuild has such a bad connotation. And she's almost, giving this year, like rebuild, as I did years ago as governor, as the Bobby Ross first year of the season of observation. That's what she's doing.
Well, and she's identifying what we've all known and what we've all been talking about is the suck. Right now,
the suck.
Yeah, right now they suck. Right. And there's no other way around it. And she also says, in that statement, a rebuild, no one wanted to say that exactly, but we all kind of knew it was going to be.
Right.
And you know what? If that's what it is, much like we've heard some honesty and some transparency from Dan Campbell, now we're starting to hear some of that honesty and transparency from ownership.
Which is what she said when she hired these guys, is they want to be more transparent. They want to be on the same page as a whole management team. Mm-hmm. That's good. Look, until they win football games, I'm not talking about this year, until they put a presentable product where it's going to win a playoff game, that's the bottom line. She'll get no slack if the team continues to fall into what her family done for years. But I would be, remiss if I didn't say, you know what,
trying to add talent. Well, yeah, we know all of those things.
Right.
But where do you start? You got to start with the rebuild.
Right.
And the fact that you ship out Matthew Stafford, you try and get as much in return as possible. You get the 2 first rounds, you get a third, you get a quarterback that's not very good. But you identify the fact that we are at ground zero. We are on the bottom level. And we're trying to figure out, how do we get to the second floor? How do we get to the third floor? How do we build what we've got to do here in Detroit? And you've got to tear it all the way down and start with the rebuild. And she just said, rebuild.
And I will
That's it.
make my plea that I made with your mother before on the show for at least, at first I said an hour. I'll even do a half hour. And you could buy 2 season tickets.
I mean, the thing that they're doing, I mentioned earlier, said again that they're doing it kind of like what Pistons did, where they're competing in most of these games, but they're losing, which is what you ultimately want. The thing is with the Pistons, they got a little bit of luck and won the lottery, and so we think Cade Cunningham's going to expedite the process a little bit.
Right. If he gets on the floor.
Yeah, he should be back next
Saturday.
game. Yeah. But there's not necessarily the pot of gold we're not seeing yet for the Lions. Now, I watched some of that Oregon-Cal game. T-Boy's the real deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not saying he's Aaron Donald necessarily, but he's going to be worth the number 1 pick. I mean,
Like Garrett?
yes, I do. Well, he as good as Garrett. I'm not saying
Right,
that.
I know, I'm
but
just
he's
saying.
got the everything that Garrett had coming out. He's good. So maybe that's the pot of gold that the Lions can stumble into. The other thing that happened Saturday, we talked about a little bit on Friday. Kenny Pickett played very good against Clemson, and this guy's just skyrocketing up from a day 3 pick before the season. Everybody thinks he's for sure second round, but he is